This is just a quick video short. It is Wednesday, February 5th, 2025. And I just wanted to highlight some of the most nauseating and extreme hypocrisy you could imagine regarding the RFK Jr. hearing for HHS Director of the United States of America. And I want it to be noted that although I'm not sure how much of an issue I think this is, virtually every single person that will be voting against RFK Jr. is someone who believes that guns are an enormous problem in the United States of America and worldwide. Now, I disagree on that premise. But whatever the case is that RFK Jr., one of his very best friends in the world, and you just watch his podcasts, is a supposed scientist or whatever named Sasha Latypova, whose own daughter has done videos celebrating shooting homosexuals, celebrating shooting transsexuals, celebrated gun violence and mass shootings.
Loaded, check the chamber to make sure there's a bullet in there. Just have fun with it, really. Do it for me. Do it to save the white race. Hey, what's you guys? It's Soph here, just getting ready for the Pride Parade. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. I'm just here getting ready to go to the Pride Parade. If you're ever worried your gun might be malfunctioning and isn't working properly, just make sure to test it on yourself.
And yet not one single person either knew about this, or if they knew about this, was willing to bring it up. That the HHS director's great friend, Sasha Latypova, has a daughter, Soph, S-O-P-H, who makes videos about mass shootings and using assault rifles and killing homosexuals and presidents.
You want to keep your finger directly on the trigger so you're always ready in case any sort of homosexual person strolls by. Just in case you're not very imaginative, I'll give you some ideas of what sort of things you're supposed to say when you're shooting, okay? I'm doing this for you, Hitler! I'm doing this for you, Trump! Let's go, Brandon! Subscribe to PewDiePie!
And now, if this was Trump's best friend and their kid, everyone would have brought it up. But nobody brought it up. So you could see that as, well, maybe that's not hypocrisy, maybe that's oversight, maybe that's stubbornness. But across the hall, or almost at the same time, there was a hearing yesterday on February 4th, 2025, about the opioid crisis, about fentanyl in particular, where, again, nobody there even had the courage to say how many people actually died.
At least Senator Grassley said the total number of fentanyl total overdose deaths in the year 2023.
Fentanyl accounts for a vast majority of drug overdose deaths in the United States every year. In the last full year, for which we have data, that'd be 2 years ago, around 75,000 lives were lost to fentanyl alone, and that happens to work out to be about 200 people dying every day.
Matter of fact, Dick Durbin made one of the most disgusting comments of all time, saying that it's really not so bad because last year it was down 10%.
There's an overdose crisis in America, but we've learned that evidence-based solutions reduce death. In fact, in 2023, overdose deaths actually decreased for the first time since 2018, going down by more than 10%.
It's wonderful. So the baseline of 20,000 a year, drug overdose deaths total, all causes in the year 2000. Well, let's not worry about the fact that last year went down from 120,000 to 108,000. Big deal. Because it's down a little bit. Yahoo! We're making great strides. This is Dick Durbin, senator from Illinois. But then another person came on, and I don't mean to be partisan, but it was obviously another Democrat who said, one of the reasons why we have this fentanyl crisis is because we're not looking out for our neighbors. As the United States, we're not looking out for our neighbors. And we're allowing too many guns to get into the hands of Mexico.
I am convinced that transnational problems require transnational solutions. It is precisely because I have witnessed and collaborated with families on both sides of the border that have lost loved ones to overdoses, homicides, and disappearances that I am here to offer what I believe is a more helpful and sustainable path forward. It is my strong professional opinion that the United States can only be safer, stronger, and prosperous if its neighbors are afforded the same opportunity. Suffering on both sides of the border is inextricably linked. The U.S. is facing one of its worst public health crises due to the availability of illicitly manufactured fentanyl, and Mexico faces its own lethal epidemic with 70% of homicides perpetrated with a firearm. More than 40% of Americans know someone who has died from an opioid overdose. Equally important, homicide is the leading cause of death for men ages 25 to 44, and the second cause of death for women ages 15 to 24 in Mexico.
Effectively saying that the drug crisis is because of guns. So they're not willing to say the number. They are willing to say that there was a measles case in Rhode Island. One case. And people are scared. But they won't say the drug overdose number. And they will bring up guns on an issue that it has very little to do with. But they won't use the celebration of gun violence on gays and transsexuals and crowds and children by the child of a very, very good friend of RFK Jr. as one of the reasons to not vote for him or to question his ability to do the job. I don't like to play partisan politics here because, oh my goodness, I am sick to my stomach at many of the supposed conservatives and people who celebrate liberty in the United States. But golly gee, I'm left with no other takeaway other than this really is a party of death. This Democrat Party. I can't think of a more successful way to split every issue in a manner that results in dead Americans and results in protection of using Americans as experimental test animals. Every single issue. It will be twisted, contorted. I couldn't even watch the whole video regarding the fentanyl hearing. I mean, I watched enough. It's just too grotesque to take in all at once. Anyways, extreme hypocrisy on full display, RFK Jr. hearings and confirmation. And it would be appreciated if you could pass this message on. Or if you don't want to, because, you want to protect these people, well, then that's fine. See you on the other side.